Most of humanity lives in a state of perpetual distraction, constantly looking outward, seeking validation, approval, and change from the world around them. They focus on their circumstances, their limitations, their past failures, and the opinions of others. They give their precious attention to everything except the one thing that holds the power to transform their entire existence, themselves. But you, my dear friends, are about to discover the most liberating truth ever revealed to mankind. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of external forces. You are not dependent upon the whims of others for your happiness, success, or fulfillment. You are the operant power in your world. You are the creator of your reality. And when you finally turn your focus inward, when you begin to concentrate on the magnificent being that you truly are, everything in your external world must reorganize itself to match the new image you hold of yourself. This is not mere philosophy or wishful thinking. This is the fundamental law of consciousness itself. Your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. Your circumstances are the shadows cast by your assumptions about yourself. Your relationships, your career, your health, your financial condition, all of these are merely the outpicturing of the concept you hold of yourself in consciousness. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I am not referring to self-centeredness or narcissism. I am speaking of something far more profound and sacred. I am speaking of the recognition of your true identity, your divine nature, your unlimited potential. I am speaking of the cultivation of self-awareness, self-love, and self-mastery. Consider for a moment the person you were yesterday, the person you were last week, last month, last year. Were you not focused primarily on external conditions? Were you not consumed with trying to change your world by manipulating circumstances, by convincing others, by struggling against what appeared to be forces beyond your control? And what were the results of this outward focus? Did you achieve the lasting transformation you desired? Did you find the peace, joy, and fulfillment you were seeking? The reason external focus fails is because it is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality operates. Most people believe that they must first see change in their outer world before they can feel different about themselves. They think they must first receive love before they can feel lovable, must first achieve success before they can feel successful, must first accumulate wealth before they can feel abundant. This is precisely backwards. The truth is that you must first change your inner world, your concept of yourself, your assumptions about who you are and what you deserve. And then your outer world will inevitably conform to this new inner reality. This is the law of consciousness in operation. This is why when you focus on yourself, everything changes. But what does it mean to focus on yourself in this transformative way? It means to become intensely aware of your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, and your self-concept. It means to examine honestly the image you hold of yourself in consciousness and to deliberately reshape that image until it matches ideals and deepest desires. You must begin to see yourself not as you appear to be based on past experiences or current circumstances, but as you truly are in your essential nature. You are not your history. You are not your mistakes. You are not your limitations. You are not the sum total of other people's opinions about you. You are a divine being having a human experience, endowed with the power to create and transform your reality through the proper use of your imagination. When you focus on this truth about yourself, when you really absorb it into the very core of your being, you begin to operate from an entirely different level of consciousness. Instead of reacting to life, you begin creating it. Instead of being pushed around by circumstances, you begin to direct them. Instead of hoping for change, you begin commanding it through the power of your focused attention. This transformation begins with the recognition that your current circumstances, no matter how challenging they may appear, are not your destiny. They are simply the outpicturing of old beliefs, old assumptions, old concepts of yourself that you have carried in consciousness. These circumstances have no power over you, except the power you give them through your continued focus and attention. When you withdraw your attention from unwanted circumstances and redirect it toward the cultivation of a new self-concept, those old circumstances must begin to dissolve. They cannot maintain themselves without the energy of your focused attention. This is why the mystics throughout the ages have taught the importance of withdrawing from the world of appearances and turning within. The process of focusing on yourself requires discipline, consistency, and unwavering faith in your own divine nature. It requires that you stop looking to others for validation and begin validating yourself. It requires that you stop seeking your good from external sources and begin recognizing that you are the source of your own good. This shift in focus is not always easy, especially in the beginning. You're being conditioned from birth to look outside yourself for answers, for approval, for solutions to your problems. You have been taught that you are small, limited, powerless in the face of a vast and often hostile world. These beliefs run deep, and they will not surrender without a fight. But as you persist in this practice of self-focus, as you continue to turn your attention away from the outer world of effects and toward the inner world of causes, you will begin to experience a profound transformation. You will discover that you have capabilities you never knew you possessed. You will find strength where you once felt weakness, abundance where you once experienced lack, love where you once knew loneliness. The key to this transformation is understanding that your attention is your most precious resource. Where you place your attention determines what grows in your life. If you focus on problems, problems multiply. If you focus on lack, lack increases. If you focus on what's wrong with you or your life, you create more of what's wrong. But when you focus on your inherent goodness, your unlimited potential, your divine nature, these qualities begin to manifest in your experience. This is not positive thinking in the shallow sense that most people understand it. This is not about pretending that problems don't exist or denying the evidence of your senses. This is about recognizing that your current circumstances are not fixed realities, but fluid manifestations of your state of consciousness. When you change your state of consciousness by changing your self-concept, your circumstances must change to match. The practice of focusing on yourself involves several key elements. First, you must learn to observe your thoughts without judgment. Most people are completely unconscious of their thought patterns, running on autopilot, thinking the same thoughts day after day. These habitual thought patterns create habitual experiences. To break free from unwanted patterns in your life, you must first become aware of the thought patterns that are creating them. Second, you must learn to question your assumptions about yourself and your limitations. Ask yourself, is this belief about myself really true? Or is it just something I've accepted without examination? Where did this limitation come from? Is it serving me, or is it holding me back? Most of your perceived limitations are nothing more than accepted suggestions that you have mistaken for truth. Third, you must begin to deliberately cultivate new assumptions about yourself that align with what you desire to experience. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. You must learn to see yourself in your mind's eye as the person you desire to be. You must think from the end result, assuming that you already are what you desire to become. This practice of assumption is not mere wishful thinking. It is the conscious use of the creative power of consciousness. When you assume something to be true about yourself and persist in that assumption, despite contrary evidence, you are actually reshaping the very fabric of reality. Your persistent assumptions harden into facts. But here's where most people fail in their attempts at transformation. They try to change their outer circumstances while maintaining the same old self-concept. They want their life to change while they themselves remain the same. This is impossible. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot attract what you do not embody. You cannot experience what you do not assume to be true about yourself. When you truly focus on yourself, when you make the development of your consciousness your primary concern, everything else begins to fall into place automatically. Opportunities appear that were always there but previously invisible to you. People respond to you differently because you are vibrating at a different frequency. Solutions to long-standing problems suddenly become obvious. This is not magic. This is the natural result of operating from a higher level of consciousness. The beauty of this principle is that it works regardless of your current circumstances. It doesn't matter how dire your situation appears to be, how many times you've failed before, how old you are, how little education you have, or what limitations you think you're facing. When you focus on transforming your self-concept, when you begin to see yourself as the unlimited being you truly are, your outer world must conform to this new inner reality. This transformation is not always instantaneous. Sometimes it happens quickly, sometimes gradually, but it is always inevitable when you persist in the proper application of these principles. The key is consistency and faith. You must continue to focus on your desired self-concept, even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. You must persist in your assumption of already being what you desire to become, even when the evidence of your senses suggests otherwise. Remember, your senses can only report what has already been created in consciousness. They tell you what was, not what is becoming. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the invisible process of growth, knowing that with proper care and attention, the seed will eventually become the plant you desire. The same principle applies to the seeds of new assumptions you plant in consciousness. The process of focusing on yourself also involves learning to love yourself unconditionally. This is perhaps the most important aspect of this entire teaching. You cannot create a life you love if you do not love the creator of that life, which is yourself. Most people have been taught to withhold love from themselves until they achieve certain conditions, until they become worthy, until they prove themselves deserving. This is backwards thinking that keeps you trapped in cycles of self-rejection and external seeking. True self-love is not contingent upon your performance or achievements. It is the recognition of your inherent worth as a divine being. It is the understanding that you are already complete, already perfect, already deserving of all good things, not because of what you've done, but because of what you are. When you begin to love yourself unconditionally, when you begin to treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would show to a beloved friend, something miraculous happens. You stop looking to others for validation because you're giving it to yourself. You stop accepting less than you deserve because you know your worth. You stop tolerating negative treatment from others because you refuse to treat yourself negatively. This shift in self-relationship creates a ripple effect that transforms every area of your life. People begin to treat you the way you treat yourself. Opportunities begin to match your new sense of self-worth. Circumstances align with your elevated self-concept. This is why focusing on yourself changes everything. But focusing on yourself also means taking responsibility for your life in a way that most people are unwilling to do. It means acknowledging that you are the author of your experience, the creator of your circumstances, the one who has been unconsciously choosing your reality through your habitual thoughts and assumptions. This can be uncomfortable at first because it means you can no longer blame others or external circumstances for your problems. However, this responsibility is also your liberation. If you created your current reality unconsciously, you can create a new reality consciously. If your past assumptions led to unwanted experiences, new assumptions can lead to desired experiences. If your old self-concept attracted certain conditions, a new self-concept can attract entirely different conditions. The practice of self-focus also requires that you learn to trust yourself. Most people have been conditioned to doubt their own judgment, to second-guess their desires, to seek external validation for their decisions. When you focus on yourself, you begin to develop an inner compass that guides you more accurately than any external authority ever could. You have within you an infinite intelligence that knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how to get it. But this intelligence can only operate effectively when you create the space for it by quieting the constant chatter of external seeking and turning your attention inward. In the silence of focused self-attention, you can hear the voice of wisdom that has been speaking to you all along. This inner wisdom will guide you to make choices that align with your highest good. It will show you opportunities that others miss. It will inspire you with ideas and solutions that seem to come from nowhere but actually arise from the depths of your own divine consciousness. This is what happens when you learn to focus on yourself rather than constantly looking outside for guidance and direction. The transformation that occurs when you focus on yourself is not just personal, it's universal. As you change the world around you. As you elevate your consciousness, You elevate the consciousness of everyone you encounter. As you embody your highest ideals, you give others permission to do the same. This is how focusing on yourself becomes a service to all humanity. You see, the world doesn't need you to sacrifice yourself for others. The world needs you to become the fullest expression of who you truly are. It needs you to shine your light so brightly that others are inspired to find their own light. It needs you to love yourself so completely that others learn what true love looks like. It needs you to believe in yourself so absolutely that others begin to believe in themselves. When you focus on yourself in this way, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a beacon of hope in a world that has forgotten its own divine nature. You become a testament to the power of consciousness to transform reality. This is your true service to the world. But remember, this focusing on yourself is not a one-time event. It's a way of life. It's a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice to turn your attention inward, rather than being constantly pulled outward by the demands and distractions of the world. It requires vigilance and commitment, because the old patterns of external seeking are deeply ingrained and will try to reassert themselves. Each day you must consciously choose to focus on your growth, your development, your evolution. Each day you must remind yourself of your true identity and refuse to be diminished by appearances or the opinions of others. Each day, you must nurture the image of yourself that you desire to become and feed it with your attention and assumption. This is not selfish, this is essential. Just as you cannot pour from an empty cup, you cannot give to the world what you have not first cultivated within yourself. By focusing on yourself, by developing yourself, by becoming the best version of yourself, you are actually preparing yourself to serve others more effectively than you ever could from a place of depletion or self-neglect. The changes that occur when you focus on yourself are both subtle and dramatic. Subtly, you begin to feel different about yourself and your life. You develop an inner confidence that is not dependent on external validation. You cultivate a peace that is not disturbed by outer circumstances. You discover a joy that comes from within and doesn't require external reasons to exist. Dramatically, your outer circumstances begin to shift in ways that sometimes seem miraculous to others, but are perfectly natural to you because you understand the law that governs these changes. Relationships improve or change entirely. Career opportunities appear. Financial abundance flows more freely. Health issues resolve. Dreams that seemed impossible suddenly become achievable goals. These changes occur because you are no longer the same person who created your old circumstances. You have literally become someone new through the power of focused attention and conscious assumption. You are now vibrating at a different frequency, and therefore you attract different experiences. You are now operating from a different level of consciousness, and therefore you create different results. This is why the ancient wisdom traditions have always emphasized the importance of self-knowledge and self-development. This is why the great teachers throughout history have pointed us inward rather than outward for the solutions to our problems. They understood that the kingdom of heaven is within, that the source of all good is within, that the power to transform your life is within. When you finally accept this truth and begin to live from it, when you make the cultivation of your consciousness your highest priority, when you focus on yourself with the dedication and consistency it deserves, you will discover that you have been carrying within you all along everything you have been seeking in the world outside. The love you've been seeking exists within you. The abundance you desire flows from you. The peace you crave is your natural state. The joy you've been chasing is your birthright. The success you want is already yours in consciousness, waiting to be claimed through your focused attention and unwavering assumption. This is the great secret that changes everything. You are not trying to get anything from the world. You are trying to give your inner reality to the world. You are not trying to become someone. You already are someone magnificent. And you're simply allowing that magnificence to be revealed through your focused self-attention. When you truly understand this, when you really get it in the depths of your being, everything does change. Not because the world suddenly becomes different, but because you become different. And therefore you experience a different world. The world has always been a perfect mirror, reflecting back to you exactly what you are being in consciousness. When you change what you're being, you change what you're seeing. So tonight, make the commitment to focus on yourself with the intensity and dedication that this sacred work deserves. Make the decision to turn your attention inward and keep it there until the transformation is complete. Make the choice to love yourself, believe in yourself, and assume the best about yourself regardless of past evidence or current appearances. Remember, you are not changing your life, you are changing yourself, and your life is changing as a result. You are not trying to fix your circumstances, you are elevating your consciousness, and your circumstances are being elevated as a result. You are not attempting to control the world, you are mastering yourself, and the world is responding to your mastery. This is your power. This is your purpose. This is your path to the life you've always dreamed of living. When you focus on yourself with this understanding, everything changes because you change, and you are the operant power in your world. Begin tonight, begin now, and watch as your focused self-attention transforms not just your life, but your very existence into the masterpiece it was always meant to be. You may wonder, is such a feat possible? I assure you, not only is it possible, but it is your birthright. For you see, the power to manifest your desires has always resided within you. It is not something to be acquired, but rather something to be remembered and awakened. Let us begin by understanding the fundamental principle upon which this science rests. Your world, your reality, is nothing more than an outward projection of your inner state of consciousness. Every circumstance, every person, every event in your life is a reflection of your beliefs, assumptions, and mental attitudes. This is the first and most crucial realization on your path to mastery. Imagine, if you will, that your mind is a garden. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are the seeds you plant in this garden. The life you're experiencing right now is the harvest of those seeds. If you're dissatisfied with your current harvest, the solution is not to wrestle with the fruit, but to change the seed. This is where many seekers falter. They attempt to change their world by manipulating external circumstances, unaware that the outer world is but a shadow of their inner world. They chase after effects, ignorant of the cause that lies within their own consciousness. But you, my dear friends, are here today to transcend this limited understanding. You are here to become conscious creators, masters of your reality. And the key to this mastery lies in one simple yet profound practice, the art of assumption. To assume means to think from the end. It means to inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled, not as a future possibility, but as a present fact. This is the secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. It is the pearl of great price, the philosopher's stone that transmutes the lead of current circumstances into the gold of desired realities. Now, you might ask, how do I assume? How do I think from the end? The answer lies in your God-given gift of imagination. Your imagination is the very workshop wherein you can construct the inner conversations and mental scenes that, persisted in, will harden into fact. Let me illustrate this with a simple exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself in a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for financial abundance, see yourself looking at a bank statement with a balance that thrills you. Feel the emotions that would accompany such a sight. Hear the words you would speak, the conversations you would have if this were your reality right now. This, my friends, is the art of assumption in action. You are thinking from the end, embodying the state of your wish fulfilled. And here's the miraculous truth. To the extent that you can make this imaginal act feel natural and real to you, to that extent will it objectify itself in your outer world. But remember, this is not mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. This is a deliberate, conscious direction of your imagination. It is an act of faith, For faith is nothing more than loyalty to your unseen assumption. And it is through faith that the invisible becomes visible, that the imaginable becomes actual. Now you might wonder, why 48 hours? Can I truly master this science in such a short time? The answer lies in the nature of consciousness itself. You see, consciousness is the only reality. All things exist within it. And it takes no time for consciousness to assume a new state. The moment you successfully embody a new state in your imagination, the seed is planted. The 48 hours we speak of is not for the planting, but for the cultivation of that seed. In these 48 hours, you will learn to persist in your new assumption, regardless of the evidence of your senses. For the outer world, bound as it is by the law of time and space, may take a while to reflect your inner change. But make no mistake, once the seed is planted and nurtured, its manifestation is inevitable. This brings us to another crucial aspect of our science, the law of reversibility. Just as heat produces motion, motion can produce heat. Similarly, while feeling creates circumstance, circumstance can create feeling. This is why it's vital to guard your mental diet, to be selective about the thoughts and assumptions you entertain. In these 48 hours, you will learn to become aware of your mental conversations, those incessant inner dialogues that shape your world. You will learn to consciously choose thoughts and inner conversations that align with your desired state. For it is these mental conversations persisted in that will reshape your world. Let me share with you a powerful technique to aid you in this practice. I call it revision. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events of your day. But here's the key: revise any event that was not to your liking. See it unfold in your imagination exactly as you would have wished it to be. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of experiencing it in this revised manner. This practice serves two purposes. First, it trains your mind to focus on the desired state rather than the current reality. Second, it demonstrates your power as a conscious creator. For in the world of imagination, there is no limitation. You can revise any event, any circumstance exactly as you desire it to be. As you engage in this practice over the next 48 hours, you will begin to feel a shift in your consciousness. You will start to experience what I call the naturalness of your desired state. This is a crucial milestone on your journey to mastery. For when your desired state feels more natural to you than your current reality, its manifestation is at hand. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of consciousness and its relation to the world of manifestation. Consciousness, my dear friends, is not confined to the boundaries of your physical form. It is infinite, eternal, and all-encompassing. Your individual consciousness is but a focal point of this universal consciousness, much like a wave is a focal point of the vast ocean. Understanding this truth is crucial to mastering the science of manifestation. For it means that all things, all possibilities, all potential realities already exist within your consciousness. You are not creating something new when you manifest your desires. Rather, you are selecting and embodying a state that already exists within the infinite sea of consciousness. This understanding liberates you from the limitations of time and space. It frees you from the belief that your desires are out there somewhere, waiting to be attained. Instead, you realize that they are already within you, waiting to be assumed and expressed. In these 48 hours, you will learn to navigate this infinite sea of consciousness with precision and purpose. You will discover that shifting from one state to another is as simple and natural as moving from one room to another in your home. All it requires is your decision and your assumption. But here, my friends, we must address a common pitfall on the path to mastery. Many seekers, upon learning of their creative power, fall into the trap of trying to manipulate specific events or people. They attempt to use their imagination to control the how of their manifestation. This is a mistake, and it often leads to frustration and disappointment. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, where you embody the consciousness of already being, doing or having what you desire, the outer world must rearrange itself to match this new state. But the manner in which it does so is not your concern. Your role is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled and to persist in that assumption. The means and methods by which your desire will manifest are the domain of that infinite intelligence that orchestrates the universe. Trust in this intelligence. Have faith that once you have planted the seed in consciousness, it will grow and bear fruit in its own perfect way and time. This brings us to another crucial aspect of our science: detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. Rather, it means to be so confident in the reality of your assumption that you can relax and allow it to unfold naturally. It means to live from the state of your wish fulfilled without anxiety or desperation about its manifestation in the outer world. In these 48 hours, you will cultivate this art of detachment. You will learn to rest in the assurance that what you have assumed in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. This assurance, this knowing, is the mark of a true master of manifestation. Now let us turn our attention to a powerful tool in our manifestation toolkit, the use of affirmations. Affirmations, when used correctly, can be a potent means of reshaping your subconscious beliefs and assumptions. However, the key lies in understanding the true nature of effective affirmations. An affirmation is not merely a positive statement repeated mechanically. It is a statement of truths spoken from the state of your wish fulfilled. When you affirm, you are not trying to convince yourself of something. Rather, you are declaring a truth that you have already accepted in consciousness. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, a powerful affirmation might be, "I am so grateful now that I am financially free." As you speak these words, feel the relief, the joy, the sense of security that would accompany this state. See yourself living this truth. Hear the inner conversations you would have if this were your reality right now. In these 48 hours, you will learn to craft and use affirmations that resonate with your desired state. You will discover how to infuse these affirmations with feeling and conviction, transforming them from mere words into powerful seeds of manifestation. But remember, the power of your affirmations lies not in the words themselves, but in the state of consciousness from which they are spoken. This is why feeling is the secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, embodied and expressed through your affirmations, is the catalyst that brings your desires into manifestation. As we progress deeper into our 48-hour mastery journey, let us explore the concept of living in the end. This phrase, living in the end, encapsulates the essence of our science of manifestation. It means to live, think, and act from the consciousness of already being the person you desire to be, of already having what you wish to have. Living in the end is not about pretending or play acting. It is about fully embodying the state of your wish, fulfilled in your imagination, to the point where it feels more real and more natural to you than your current circumstances. This is the state from which miracles spring forth, where the seeming impossible becomes possible. In these 48 hours, you will practice living in the end with unwavering focus and devotion. You will learn to maintain this state regardless of the evidence of your senses. For remember, your senses only show you the effects of past thoughts and assumptions. They cannot show you the new cause you are setting in motion through a present assumption. This practice of living in the end will require vigilance and persistence. You must guard your thoughts, your inner conversations, and your mental diet with the same care and attention that you would give to any valuable possession. For indeed, your state of consciousness is your most valuable possession, the very substance from which your world is shaped. As you persist in living from the end, you may encounter what seems like opposition or contradiction in your outer world. This is perfectly natural and to be expected. The outer world, bound as it is by time and space, may take a while to fully reflect your new inner state. But do not be discouraged by this seeming lag. Instead, see it as an opportunity to strengthen your faith, to deepen your conviction in the reality of your assumption. Remember, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As you maintain your new state of consciousness, this shadow must by immutable law reshape itself to match the new inner reality. Your task is not to wrestle with the shadow, but to be steadfast in your new assumption. Now let us delve into a powerful technique that will aid you in maintaining your desired state. The use of inner conversations. Your inner conversations are the dialogues you have with yourself and with others in your imagination. These conversations are incredibly potent, for they are direct communications with your subconscious mind. In these 48 hours, you will learn to consciously craft and engage in inner conversations that align with your desired state. If your desire is for a loving relationship, for example, you might imagine hearing a close friend congratulate you on your wonderful partnership. Feel the joy and gratitude as you respond, confirming the reality of this loving relationship in your life. These inner conversations, when imbued with feeling and repeated with consistency, become a powerful force in reshaping your subconscious beliefs and assumptions. And as your subconscious beliefs change, your outer world must change to match them. But remember, the key to effective inner conversations lies in their naturalness. They should not feel forced or artificial. Instead, they should flow as easily and naturally as any actual conversation you might have. This naturalness is a sign that your new assumption is taking root in your subconscious mind. As we approach the midpoint of our 48-hour journey to mastery, let us address a question that often arises: what about action? Do I simply imagine and affirm, or must I also act in the physical world? This is a crucial point, and one that is often misunderstood. Action, my dear friends, is indeed a vital part of the manifestation process, but it is not action as the world commonly understands it. It is not about forcing or struggling or manipulating external circumstances. Rather, it is about inspired action, action that flows naturally from your new state of consciousness. When you successfully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, when you truly live in the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this new state. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. Instead, they will feel natural, even inevitable, as if you are simply playing the part that has been assigned to you. In these 48 hours, you will learn to recognize and follow these inspired actions. You will discover that as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, opportunities and circumstances will present themselves that perfectly align with your desire. Your role is simply to step into these opportunities, to play your part in the unfolding drama of your manifestation. This is the true meaning of the biblical injunction to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. It does not mean to be passive or inactive. Rather, it means to be still in your assumption, to be unwavering in your faith, and from this state of stillness to watch as the path to your desire naturally unfolds before you. Now let us turn our attention to a powerful tool that will accelerate your mastery of this science, the practice of acting as if. This technique is a natural extension of living in the end, that it brings your assumption into your physical world in a tangible way. To act as if means to behave in your outer world as you would if your desire were already a reality. If your desire is for a successful career, for example, you would carry yourself with the confidence and poise of a successful person. You would make decisions and interact with others from the mindset of someone who has already achieved the success you desire. In these 48 hours, you will practice acting as if with dedication and consistency. You will discover that as you align your outer behavior with your inner assumption, you create a powerful resonance that accelerates the manifestation of your desire. But remember, acting as is not about pretending or deceiving others. It is about aligning your outer expression with your inner truth, the truth you have accepted in consciousness. It is about bringing your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions into harmony with the state of your wish fulfilled. As we delve deeper into our exploration of the science of manifestation, let us address a concept that is often misunderstood, the role of desire itself. Many spiritual teachings advise against desire, seeing it as a source of suffering or attachment. But in our science, desire plays a crucial and positive role. Desire, my dear friends, is the voice of God within you. It is the creative impulse of the universe seeking expression through you. Your desires are not random or meaningless. They are calls from your higher self, invitations to grow, to expand, to more fully express your divine nature. In these 48 hours, you will learn to honor your desires, to see them as sacred messages from your deeper self. You will discover that as you align with your true desires, as you assume the state of their fulfillment, you are not being selfish or materialistic. Rather, you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing more of your true nature, and in doing so, enriching the world around you. But here, we must make an important distinction. There is a difference between pure desire and neediness or desperation. Pure desire comes from a place of fullness, of knowing that you are already complete and whole. Neediness, on the other hand, comes from a place of lack, of feeling incomplete without the object of your desire. In our science of manifestation, we work with pure desire. We assume the state of our wish fulfilled not because we need it to be happy or complete, but because it is a natural expression of who we truly are. This distinction is crucial, for manifestation born of neediness often brings with it new problems and dissatisfactions, while manifestation born of pure desire brings genuine fulfillment and joy. As we enter the final stretch of our 48-hour journey to mastery, let us explore a concept that ties together everything we have discussed, the law of assumption. This law states that whatever you assume to be true, whatever state you occupy in consciousness, must express itself in your outer world. The law of assumption is not something external to you. It is not a force that you must appease or manipulate. Rather, it is the very nature of consciousness itself. It is the mechanism by which the formless realm of pure potential takes on form and expression in the physical world. In these final hours of our journey, you will deepen your understanding and application of this law. You will discover that every moment of your life, you are making assumptions. These assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, are shaping your reality. By becoming aware of your assumptions and consciously choosing those that align with your desires, you become a deliberate creator of your life experience. As we approach the culmination of our 48-hour mastery, I want to emphasize a crucial point: persistence. The power of your assumption lies not in making it once, but in maintaining it consistently. There may be times when your outer world seems to contradict your inner assumption. In these moments, your persistence is key. Hold fast to your assumption, knowing that the outer world must eventually conform to your inner state. Remember, my dear friends, that you are not alone in this journey. You are supported by the very fabric of the universe, by the infinite intelligence that pervades all things. As you master this science of manifestation, you align yourself more fully with this intelligence. You become a conscious co-creator with the divine, expressing more of your true nature and potential. In closing, I want to remind you that what we have explored in these 48 hours is not mere theory or philosophy. It is a practical science, a method that has been proven time and again by those who have applied it with understanding and persistence. You now hold in your hands the key to shaping your reality, to manifesting your deepest desires and highest aspirations. Go forth now and apply what you have learned. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Persist in your assumptions. Act from the consciousness of already being the person you desire to be. And watch in awe as your world transforms to match your inner state. For you are the operant power, the conscious creator of your life experience. In realizing this truth and living from it, you step into your true power and fulfill your highest destiny. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract everything they desire, while others struggle despite endless effort? The answer lies not in what you're doing, but in where you're placing your attention. Today I'm going to share with you the profound science of manifestation that has been proven in our laboratories. Our research has uncovered something remarkable about human consciousness. When you focus your attention on something specific, you activate neural networks that literally reshape your brain's architecture. But here's what's fascinating. This reshaping isn't limited to your physical brain. Think about the last time you intensely desired something. Our studies show that in that moment, you were generating electromagnetic fields that extended far beyond your physical body. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The laboratory data reveals something extraordinary. When you maintain focused attention on a specific outcome for just 3 minutes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences in your nervous system. These sequences create measurable changes in your brain chemistry. Our consciousness research demonstrates that what we focus on literally alters our DNA expression. When you direct your attention toward what you want rather than what you don't want, you activate dormant genetic potentials associated with enhanced creation abilities. No. Now, going back to our study, this old awesome pot, consider this profound discovery from our studies. Your cells are constantly listening to your internal dialogue. Every thought you think creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural ability to attract what you desire. The brain imaging research shows something fascinating. When you maintain focused attention on your desired reality, you activate what we call quantum coherent networks. These networks synchronize your brain waves with the frequency of what you want to attract. Now, our studies on consciousness reveal that when you persist in holding your attention on a specific outcome, you generate what we call probability fields that actually influence future events. This isn't measurable quantum mechanics. I think about this remarkable finding from our laboratory research. When you focus intensely on what you want to create, you enter what we call manifestation states. In these states, your brain produces specific frequencies that harmonize with similar frequencies in your environment. The data from our cellular studies shows that when you maintain consistent focus on your desired reality, you literally reprogram your body's electromagnetic field. This field extends several feet beyond your physical form and influences the quantum field around you. Our research on neural plasticity demonstrates something extraordinary. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you create new neural pathways that support the manifestation of those experiences. Consider this fascinating discovery. When you focus on specific outcomes with emotional intensity, you generate what we call resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. This is pure physics, not philosophy. The speech continues exploring various aspects of focused attention and manifestation. Through scientific understanding and practical application, the neuroscience of attention reveals something profound. When you focus intensely on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation circuits in your brain. These circuits generate electromagnetic frequencies that extend into the quantum field. Our laboratory studies demonstrate that every thought you maintain creates ripples in the fabric of space-time. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this remarkable discovery. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining with emotional intensity. This means you're constantly broadcasting frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. The research on consciousness shows that when you maintain unwavering focus on what you desire, you enter what we call manifestation zones, states where the gap between thought and reality collapses. Our brain imaging studies reveal something extraordinary. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you activate dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced creation abilities. Consider this fascinating finding. Your cells are continuously responding to the frequency of your focused attention. When you maintain concentration on what you want to experience, you literally alter your biological expression. The data from our quantum research demonstrates that focused attention generates what we call probability fields. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality, increasing the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing. Our studies on neural coherence show that when you persist in holding your attention on desired experiences, you create measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field that extend far beyond your physical form. Think about this profound discovery. When you focus intensely on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with what you want to attract. The research on cellular intelligence reveals that your body's trillions of cells respond instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. He's building something, power manifestation. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain focused attention on what you want to create, you generate what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our consciousness research shows that every thought you think creates ripples in the quantum field. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this extraordinary discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts specific frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. The data from our brain study reveals that when you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation networks, neural pathways that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Now, research on cellular memory demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention. This response creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field that influence probability itself. Consider this fascinating finding. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Think about this profound discovery from our laboratory research. When you maintain consistent focus on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call probability cascades that influence future events in measurable ways. Our latest research reveals something extraordinary. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call quantum attraction networks in your brain. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future probabilities. Think about this remarkable discovery. Every moment of focused attention creates ripples in the quantum field. When these ripples align with your desired outcome, they become powerful waves of manifestation energy. The laboratory studies show that when you persist in directing your attention toward specific experiences, you enter what we call creation states, periods where the boundary between thought and reality becomes increasingly permeable. Our consciousness research demonstrates that focused attention generates electromagnetic fields that extend up to 30 feet beyond your physical form. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality in measurable ways. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with external possibilities. The brain imaging data reveals something profound. Focused attention activates dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These areas generate specific frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. Our studies on cellular intelligence show that every cell in your body responds instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that influence your ability to attract desired outcomes. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific experiences, you generate what we call probability fields that interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The research on neural coherence demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field. These changes influence the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing in your experience. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation circuits that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Our consciousness research reveals that every thought you maintain creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. The data from our brain studies shows that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our research on cellular memory demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes influence the probability of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. Think about this extraordinary discovery from our laboratory research. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence future events in measurable ways. Our research on neuroplasticity reveals that focused attention creates new neural pathways that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways become stronger with consistent use. The quantum mechanics of focused attention reveals something remarkable. When you maintain concentrated awareness on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation frequencies in your nervous system. These frequencies ripple through the fabric of space-time itself. Our laboratory findings demonstrate that when you persist in holding your attention on specific outcomes, you generate what we call manifestation fields that extend into the quantum realm. These fields influence probability at the subatomic level. Think about this profound discovery. Every sustained thought creates specific electromagnetic patterns. When these patterns align with your desired experience, they become powerful attractors in the quantum field. The research on consciousness shows that focused attention triggers what we call synchronicity cascades, sequences of events that appear random but are actually responding to your internal frequency. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain unwavering focus on what you want to experience, you enter what we call quantum coherence states, where thought and reality begin to merge. Our brain imaging studies reveal that focused attention activates dormant neural networks associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future possibilities. The data from our cellular research demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention, creating biochemical changes that influence your attraction field. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you generate what we call probability waves that interact with the quantum fabric of reality. Our studies on neuroplasticity show that focused attention creates new pathways in your brain that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways strengthen with consistent use. Consider this remarkable finding. When you maintain concentrated awareness and on your desired reality, you activate what we call resonance fields that attract corresponding experiences into your life. The research on consciousness reveals that every thought you hold creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. How do we learn and shift our frequency? Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field in measurable ways. Our laboratory studies show that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. The data from our brain research demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes extend several feet beyond your physical form. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call quantum attraction patterns that draw similar frequencies into your reality. Our studies on cellular intelligence reveal that focused attention creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention toward specific outcomes, you activate what we call creation networks that influence future events in measurable ways. The research on neural coherence shows that focused attention generates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the probability of desired experiences manifesting. Our latest quantum research reveals something transformative. When you maintain pure focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation potential that exists in every particle of your being. These particles respond instantly to your attention. Consider this final revelation. The electromagnetic field of your focused attention extends into dimensions beyond time and space. In these dimensions, everything exists in a state of pure possibility, waiting for your attention to give it form. The laboratory studies confirm that in the last moments before manifestation, you enter what we call quantum resonance, a state where your internal frequency perfectly matches the frequency of your desire. This is the moment of transformation. Think about this culminating discovery. Your focused attention creates a bridge between potential and reality. When you maintain this bridge through unwavering concentration, possibilities collapse into experience. Our consciousness research shows that in the final phase of manifestation, you generate what we call coherence waves that ripple through the quantum field, bringing your desired reality into physical form. Remember this fundamental truth. You are not separate from what you observe. Your attention is the force that shapes the quantum field into tangible experience. This is not theory. This is proven quantum mechanics. The data from our final studies reveals that when you maintain absolute clarity of focus, you enter what we call creation consciousness, a state where thought and reality become one unified field. Consider this closing insight. Every moment contains infinite potential, waiting for your focused attention to give it direction. Your attention is the key that unlocks these infinite possibilities. In these concluding moments, understand that you are not just observing reality. You are creating it through your focused attention. Every thought you maintain shapes the quantum field into corresponding experience. And so I leave you with this final truth. Your attention is your most powerful tool for creating reality. Use it wisely, direct it consciously, and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match the picture in your mind. Remember, what you focus on expands, what you think about manifests, and what you give your attention to grows. This is not philosophy. This is the science of consciousness itself. Your journey of conscious creation begins now. Every moment is a new opportunity to direct your attention toward what you want to experience. The quantum field awaits your instructions. Trust in the process, maintain your focus, and watch as your reality transforms to match your internal vision. This is your natural power. Use it consciously, use it wisely, and use it now. The world you perceive with your physical senses is not the cause of your experience, but the effect. The true cause lies within you, in your consciousness, in your imagination. This is the foundation of the law of assumption. The law of assumption states that if you assume a state and persist in it, it must become your reality. This law is not subject to your belief or disbelief. It operates regardless of your conscious acceptance. It is as constant as the law of gravity. Just as an object must fall when released, so must your assumptions manifest in your physical reality. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, how can I ignore the reality of my current financial situation? How can I assume wealth when my bank account shows otherwise? This, my dear friends, is where the true test of faith comes in. For faith is not believing in spite of evidence, but believing in spite of appearance. Remember, your physical reality is nothing more than the outpicturing of your past assumptions. It is the harvest of seeds you have previously sown in your consciousness. To change your reality, you must plant new seeds. You must assume a new state. Let us delve deeper into this concept. When I speak of assuming a state, I am not talking about mere positive thinking or affirmations. I am speaking of a complete embodiment of the state you desire. You must think from the state of wealth, not of wealth. Imagine for a moment that you are already wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What decisions would you make? This is not a game of make-believe. This is the active creation of a new reality. You see, your imagination is not a separate part of you. It is the very essence of your being. It is God in action within you. When you imagine, you are literally shaping the substance of the universe. Your imaginal acts are the causes set in motion that will inevitably manifest in your physical world. Now, some of you might be wondering, but how long will it take for my assumption to manifest? This is a common question, but it reveals a misunderstanding of the nature of time and manifestation. In the realm of imagination, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The time it takes for your assumption to appear in your physical reality is determined by your faith and your persistence in the assumed state. The more faithfully you persist in your assumption, living and acting as though it were already true, the more quickly it will externalize in your world. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire to be wealthy. Instead of focusing on the lack of money in your current reality, you would assume the state of wealth. You would sleep as though you were sleeping in the most luxurious bed. You would eat as though you were dining in the finest restaurants. You would walk and talk and think as a wealthy person does. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the active use of your creative power. For remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Everyone and everything in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. As you assume the state of wealth, the world must rearrange itself to match your assumption. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't I need to do something to become wealthy? Of course, action has its place. But understand this, action does not create. Action only expresses. The true creative power lies in your assumption. When you truly assume the state of wealth, inspired action will naturally follow. You will find yourself making decisions and taking steps that align with your new state of consciousness. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, even inevitable. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no power to create or to change. All creation happens first in consciousness. Your job is not to manipulate the outer world, but to change your inner world. As you change within, the outer must conform. Now, let us address a common obstacle in this process, the evidence of your senses. Your physical senses will continue to show you your old reality for a time. This is where many falter. They look at their current circumstances and say, see, nothing has changed. It's not working. But I tell you now, this period of seemingly unchanged circumstances is crucial. It is the interval between your assumption and its manifestation in the physical world. It is the period where your faith is tested. Will you persist in your new assumption, or will you return to your old state? During this time, you must be like the farmer who has planted his seeds. He does not dig them up every day to see if they have sprouted. He trusts in the law of growth. He knows that in due time his crop will appear. So must you trust in the law of assumption. Remember, what you are seeing in your physical reality is the result of your past assumptions. It has no power over your future unless you give it power through your continued assumption. Ignore the evidence of your senses. Persist in your new assumption. Live from the end. Now let us delve deeper into the concept of living from the end. This is not about visualizing a future state. It is about experiencing your desire as a present fact. When you truly live from the end, you are not trying to get something. You are experiencing the state of already having it. Imagine you have a friend who lives in another city. When you think of this friend, you don't visualize them or affirm their existence. You simply know they exist. This is the kind of knowing you must have about your desired state of wealth. It should be as real and as natural to you as the existence of your distant friend. This state of knowing, of living from the end, is what truly activates the law of assumption. It aligns your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, with the reality of your desire. And in this alignment, miracles happen. Now, some of you might be wondering about the role of emotion in this process. Emotion is crucial. It is the fuel that gives life to your assumption. When you assume a state, you must feel the reality of it. You must experience the joy, the excitement, the gratitude of already being wealthy. But here's a key point. These emotions should not be intense or forced. They should be natural, calm, the kind of quiet joy you feel when you think already possess. Remember, you are not trying to convince yourself of something. You are simply acknowledging what is already true in your consciousness. Let us now address another common concern. What if doubts arise? Doubts are natural. They are the old man, the old state of consciousness fighting to survive. But understand this, doubts have no power unless you give them power through your attention and belief. When doubts arise, do not fight them. Do not give them energy by arguing with them. Simply return to your assumed state. Gently but firmly bring your attention back to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you focus on expands. Focus on your new state, not on your doubts. Now, let's talk about the concept of revision. Revision is a powerful tool in ignoring reality and assuming wealth. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day, but do not review them as they appear to your senses. Revise them to align with your desired state of wealth. If you encountered a financial challenge during the day, revise it. See it as an opportunity that led to greater wealth. If you had a negative interaction related to money, revise it. See it as a positive, prosperous exchange. You are not denying what happened. You are actively reshaping your memory and thus your future. Remember, your memories are not fixed. They are fluid, constantly being reconstructed. By consciously revising your memories, you are literally rewriting your past. And as you change your past in your imagination, you change the trajectory of your future. Now, let us discuss the importance of persistence. Assuming a new state is not a one-time event. It is a continuous choice. You must persist in your new state, even when the outer world shows no sign of change. This persistence is what distinguishes those who successfully manifest their desires from those who do not. Think of it like this: when you move to a new home, you don't wake up each morning wondering where you are. You naturally assume your new surroundings. This is how you must be with your assumed state of wealth. It should become your new normal, your new home state. But what if you falter? What if you find yourself slipping back into your old state of consciousness? Do not despair. Simply acknowledge it and return to your assumed state. Remember, you are breaking lifelong habits of thought and feeling. It takes practice. Be patient with yourself, but be persistent. Now, let's address a crucial point. The law of assumption is not about manipulating external circumstances. It's about aligning yourself with the reality you desire. When you assume the state of wealth, you're not trying to force money to come to you. You're becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth. This distinction is important. Many people approach manifestation with a mindset of lack, trying to get something they believe they don't have. But in truth, all that you desire already exists in the infinite possibilities of the universe. Your job is not to create wealth, but to align yourself with the wealth that already exists. Think of it like tuning a radio. All stations are broadcasting simultaneously, but you can only hear the one you're tuned into. When you assume the state of wealth, you're tuning yourself to the frequency of abundance. You're not creating the broadcast, you're aligning yourself to receive it. Now let's delve into the concept of detachment. This might seem contradictory to what we've discussed about assuming the state of wealth, but it's actually complementary. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about your desire. It means releasing your anxious attachment to how or when it will manifest. When you're anxiously attached to the outcome, you're actually affirming the lack of your desire. You're saying, I want this because I don't have it. This state of consciousness keeps your desire at arm's length, always in the future, never in the now. True detachment comes from the deep knowing that your desire is already yours in consciousness, and therefore must manifest in your physical reality. It's a state of calm expectancy, of knowing the law is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. This detachment allows you to truly live in the end. You're not waiting for something to happen. You're simply being who you are, a wealthy person. This state of being is far more powerful than any amount of doing or trying. Now let's discuss the concept of everyone is you pushed out. This principle states that everyone in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. The way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, even the seemingly random events in your life, all are reflections of your state of being. This understanding brings with it a great responsibility. It means that if you want to experience a world of abundance and prosperity, you must first embody those qualities within yourself. As you assume the state of wealth, you will naturally see others differently, and they will respond differently to you. During this process of assuming wealth, be aware of how you perceive others. Are your perceptions aligned with your desired reality? If not, consciously choose to see others in a way that supports your assumption of wealth. See others as prosperous, generous, supportive of your success. Remember, you are not manipulating others. You are simply aligning your perception with your desired reality, and others will naturally conform to this new perception. Now, let's talk about the power of your words. Your words are not just sounds or symbols. They are creative forces. They are declarations to the universe. When you assume the state of wealth, your words must align with this new state. Speak as though you are already wealthy. Use phrases like I am wealthy instead of I will be wealthy. Speak of abundance, not of lack. Describe your financial situations in positive terms, even if your physical senses tell you otherwise. This is not about lying or denying your current circumstances. It's about aligning your speech with the reality you are assuming. Remember, your words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Make sure you're planting seeds of abundance, not of lack. Now let's address a common pitfall. Comparing yourself to others. In your journey of assuming wealth, you might be tempted to look at others and measure your progress against theirs. This is a trap. Remember, everyone is you pushed out. What you see in others is a reflection of your own consciousness. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey. Your only competition is with your previous self. Are you more aligned with the state of wealth today than you were yesterday? That's the only comparison that matters. Let's delve deeper into the concept of faith. Faith is not wishful thinking or blind belief. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is a knowing beyond physical evidence. When you have true faith in your assumed state of wealth, you don't hope for it to manifest. You know it must manifest as surely as you know the sun will rise tomorrow. This kind of faith doesn't ignore your current reality. It sees beyond it. It recognizes that your physical reality is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. Your new assumption of wealth, held with unwavering faith, is the new cause set in motion that must produce new effects. Now, let's discuss the importance of gratitude in this process. Gratitude is not just a polite sentiment. It is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. During this process of assuming wealth, cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Be thankful not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the abundance that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity. It opens you to receive even greater blessings. It aligns you with the abundance of the universe. Practice gratitude not from a place of lack, hoping to receive, but from a place of fullness, knowing you already have. Now, let's address the concept of the Sabbath. The Sabbath in this context is not about a particular day of the week, but about a state of mind. It is a state of complete rest from all effort, a state of knowing that your work is done. In the process of assuming wealth, the Sabbath state is crucial. It is the state of total acceptance of your desires and accomplished fact. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make your desire happen, because you know it is already done. Practice entering the Sabbath state. After you've done your imaginal act, after you've assumed the feeling of wealth, consciously enter a state of rest. Release all anxiety, all need to make it happen. Know that the law is at work, and your only task now is to remain in the state of wealth. Now, let's discuss the concept of dimensional shifting. This is the idea that for every possible reality, there is a version of you already experiencing it. Your task in assuming wealth is not to create something new, but to shift your consciousness to align with the version of you that is already wealthy. Practice thinking from the perspective of the wealthy you. How would that version of you think? How would they feel? What decisions would they make? Align yourself with this version of you, and you will naturally shift into the reality where wealth is your normal state. Let's delve into the concept of the law of reverse effort. This law states that the harder you try to achieve something, the more you push it away. This is why so many people struggle to manifest their desires. They are trying too hard, and in their effort, they are actually affirming the lack of what they want. In assuming wealth, you must release all effort. You are not trying to get rich. You are simply acknowledging the wealth that is already yours in consciousness. This state of effortless acceptance is far more powerful than any amount of striving or struggling. Now let's address the concept of the bridge of incidents. When you assume a new state, a series of events is set in motion to bring about the manifestation of your desire. This series of events is called the bridge of incidents. The key here is to trust the bridge. You don't need to know how your assumption of wealth will manifest. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption and allow the bridge to unfold naturally. Each event, each encounter, each seeming coincidence is a part of this bridge, leading you to the full manifestation of your assumed wealth. Let's discuss the importance of self-concept in assuming wealth. Your self-concept is the sum total of your beliefs about yourself. It is the foundation upon which all your experiences are built. If you want to manifest wealth, you must first see yourself as someone who is naturally wealthy. Work on changing your self-concept. See yourself as someone who is good with money, who attracts abundance effortlessly, who lives in a state of prosperity. As you change your self-concept, you change the foundation of your reality. Now let's address the role of action in this process. While it's true that assumption is the foundation of manifestation, inspired action often plays a part. The key word here is inspired. When you truly assume the state of wealth, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this state. These inspired actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, even inevitable. You won't be taking action to get rich. You'll be taking action because that's what a wealthy person would naturally do. Let's delve into the concept of revision once more. Revision is not just about changing your memories of past events. It's about reinterpreting your entire life story in a way that supports your assumed state of wealth. See your past challenges as stepping stones that led you to your current prosperity. Reframe past financial struggles as valuable lessons that prepared you for the wealth you now enjoy. Remember, your past does not determine your future unless you carry it with you. Through revision, you can create a new past that naturally leads to your wealthy present and future. This isn't about denying what happened, but about changing its meaning and its impact on your consciousness. Now, let's discuss the importance of living in the end. This means experiencing your desire as a present fact, not a future possibility. When you live in the end, you're not hoping to become wealthy. You're experiencing the reality of being wealthy now in your imagination. This state of living in the end collapses time. It brings your desire into the present moment, making its manifestation inevitable. Remember, in the realm of imagination, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its fulfillment with conviction. Let's address the concept of everyone as you pushed out once more. In your journey of assuming wealth, you will encounter various people and situations. Remember, these are all reflections of your consciousness. The supportive business partner, the generous client, the unexpected opportunity, or you pushed out, reflecting your assumed state of wealth. As you persist in your assumption of wealth, you'll find that people and circumstances naturally align with your new state. You're not changing others, you're changing yourself. And others must conform to your new concept of self. Now, let's delve into the power of silence. After you have done your imaginal act, after you have assumed the feeling of wealth, there comes a time for silence. This silence is not just external, but internal. It's a cessation of all inner chatter about your desire. In this silence, you allow the seed of your assumed wealth to take root and grow. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the law, knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality. Let's discuss the concept of the law of attraction versus the law of assumption. While both laws deal with manifestation, the law of assumption is more powerful. The law of attraction suggests that you attract what you focus on. The law of assumption states that you manifest what you claim as true. In assuming wealth, you're not trying to attract money to you. You're claiming wealth as your current reality. This subtle shift makes all the difference. You're not reaching for something outside yourself. You're acknowledging what is already true within you. Now, let's address the importance of persistence. Assuming a new state is not a one-time event. It's a continuous choice. You must persist in your new state, even when the outer world shows no sign of change. This persistence is what distinguishes those who successfully manifest their desires from those who do not. Think of it like learning a new language. At first, it feels unnatural, even difficult. But with persistent practice, it becomes second nature. The same is true for your new state of wealth. Persist and it will become your new normal. Let's delve into the concept of quantum jumping. This is the idea that you can shift your consciousness to a reality where your desire is already fulfilled. In assuming wealth, you're quantum jumping to a reality where you are already wealthy. This isn't about physically jumping to a different universe. It's about aligning your consciousness with a version of reality where your desire is fulfilled. As you persist in this new state, your physical reality must reshape itself to match. Now let's discuss the importance of self-love in this process. Self-love is not vanity. It's a recognition of your true nature as a divine being worthy of all good things. Without self-love, you may subconsciously block your manifestations, feeling unworthy of receiving them. As you assume the state of wealth, cultivate deep self-love. Know that you are deserving of abundance. This self-love will align you with the frequency of wealth, making its manifestation effortless. In conclusion, remember that the power to create your reality lies within you. Ignoring the apparent reality of your senses and assuming the state of wealth is not about denial. It's about recognizing the true creative power of your consciousness. As you persist in your assumption, as you live from the end, as you align every aspect of your being with the reality of wealth, you will find your outer world reshaping itself to match your inner state. The power is yours. Use it wisely and watch as your assumption of wealth manifests in ways beyond your wildest dreams. Oh, when I say love yourself, I do not speak of mere vanity or self-indulgence. No, I speak of something far more profound, far more transformative. I speak of recognizing and embracing the divine nature that resides within you. For you are in essence God made manifest. Let us begin by understanding a fundamental truth. The world you see around you, with all its wonders and challenges, is but an outward picture of your inner assumptions. Your concept of self, your love or lack thereof for your own being, is the cause of all that you experience in this so-called objective world. Imagine, if you will, a vast and beautiful garden. This garden is your life, your experiences, your relationships, your achievements. Now, who is the gardener of this magnificent creation? It is none other than you, my dear friend. You are the master gardener of your reality, and the seeds you plant are your thoughts, your beliefs, and most importantly, your concept of self. If you plant seeds of self-doubt, of unworthiness, of self-loathing, what do you suppose will grow in this garden of yours? Weeds of disappointment, thorny bushes of failed relationships, withered flowers of unfulfilled dreams. But oh, when you plant seeds of self-love, of divine recognition, of unwavering faith in your own godly nature, then, my friends, then you shall see your garden bloom with unimaginable beauty. Now, you might ask, but Neville, how can I love myself when I see so many flaws, so many mistakes in my past? To this, I say, your past, your perceived flaws, your so-called mistakes, these are but shadows cast by your limited understanding of your true self. They have no power over you, except that which you grant them through your belief. Remember, you are not bound by your history. You are not defined by your past actions or inactions. You are, in each and every moment, born anew. The you that exists now is a fresh canvas, ready to be painted with the vibrant colors of self-love and divine recognition. Let me share with you a powerful technique to begin this journey of self-love. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing before a mirror. Look into your own eyes in this imaginal scene. What do you see? Do you see a limited, flawed human being? Or do you see the spark of divinity, the very essence of God looking back at you? I urge you, my dear friends, to practice this exercise daily. Look into that mirror of your imagination and declare with all the conviction of your soul, I am love incarnate. I am the very essence of divine perfection. I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. As you do this, you may feel resistance. Old beliefs, old patterns of thought might rear their ugly heads. Do not fight them. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently but firmly replace them with your new, empowering vision of self. Remember, the subconscious mind, that faithful servant, does not discriminate between what you perceive as real and what you vividly imagine. By consistently presenting it with this new image of a loved and loving self, you are planting seeds that will inevitably grow into a growth that gladly. Now let us delve deeper into this concept of self-love. Many of you might associate love with an outward expression, something you give to others or receive from them. But I tell you this, all love begins within. You cannot truly love another until you have learned to love yourself fully and completely. Think of it this way, you are a vessel, a channel through which the divine love of the universe flows. If this vessel is clogged with self-doubt, self-criticism, and self-loathing, how can the pure love of the divine flow through you unimpeded? It cannot. But when you clear away these blockages through the practice of self-love, you become a clear and open channel, radiating love not only to yourself, but to all around you. This, my friends, is the true power of self-love. It is not selfish. It is not narcissistic. It is, in fact, the most selfless act you can perform. For in loving yourself, you raise your vibration, you elevate your consciousness, And in doing so, you lift up the entire world around you. Let me share with you another powerful technique to cultivate this self-love. I call it the I am meditation. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and begin to breathe deeply and slowly. With each breath, feel yourself relaxing more and more. Now begin to repeat silently to yourself, I am love. I am worthy. I am divine. Feel the power of these words resonating through every cell of your body. Let them sink deep into your subconscious mind. As you do this, you may notice thoughts arising that contradict these affirmations. Old beliefs trying to assert themselves. Do not fight them. Simply observe them, thank them for their input, and gently return to your I am statements. Practice this meditation for at least 10 minutes each day. As you do, you will begin to notice a shift in your perception of yourself. The voice of self-criticism will grow quieter, while the voice of self-love will grow stronger and clearer. Now, my dear friends, I want you to understand something of vital importance. This journey of self-love is not always easy. It is not a straight path from self-loathing to self-adoration. There will be days when you falter, when old patterns reassert themselves, when you find it difficult to look in that mirror and see the divine being that you truly are. In these moments, I urge you to be gentle with yourself. Remember, even these moments of doubt are part of your journey. There are opportunities for you to practice self-love in its most profound form, loving yourself even when you feel unlovable. In fact, let us explore this concept further. Imagine, if you will, that you are a parent and your child comes to you feeling sad, feeling unworthy. Would you berate this child? Would you agree with their negative self-assessment? Of course not. You would hold them close, reassure them of their worth, remind them of their inherent lovability. Now, I tell you this, you must become this loving parent to yourself. In moments of self-doubt, of perceived failure, of sadness, you must hold yourself with the same tenderness, the same unconditional love that you would offer to a beloved child. This, my friends, is the true test of self-love. It is easy to love ourselves when everything is going well, when we are succeeding, when we feel on top of the world. But the real work, the transformative work, happens when we can love ourselves in our darkest moments, in our perceived failures, in our times of doubt and fear. Let me share with you a powerful affirmation for these challenging times. When you find yourself in a moment of self-doubt or self-criticism, pause, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, even in this moment, especially in this moment, I choose to love myself unconditionally. Feel the power of these words. Let them sink deep into your being. For in making this choice, in this conscious act of self-love in a moment of difficulty, you are rewiring your subconscious mind. You are teaching it a new pattern, a new response. You are, in essence, reprogramming your entire being to default to love rather than criticism. Now, let us explore another aspect of self-love that is often overlooked. Many of you may believe that to love yourself, you must first change yourself. You might think, I'll love myself when I lose weight, or I'll love myself when I get that promotion, or I'll love myself when I find the perfect partner. My dear friends, this is a trap, an illusion created by the limited human mind. For I tell you this, self-love is not conditional. It is not something to be earned or achieved. It is your birthright, your natural state of being. Think of a newborn baby. Does this baby need to achieve anything to be worthy of love? Does it need to prove its worth, to meet certain conditions? Of course not. The baby is loved simply for existing, for being. You, my dear friend, are no different. You are worthy of love, of your own love, simply because you exist. You are a unique expression of the divine, a miracle of creation. Your very existence is cause for celebration, for love. So I urge you, do not postpone your self-love. Do not make it conditional on future achievements or changes. Choose to love yourself now, exactly as you are. For it is this unconditional self-love that will fuel your growth, that will inspire positive changes, that will attract wonderful experiences into your life. Let me share with you a powerful visualization to help you embody this unconditional self-love. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by a warm golden light. This light represents pure, unconditional love. Feel it enveloping you, permeating every cell of your body. Now imagine this light originating from within you, from your heart center. See it growing brighter and brighter, expanding outward. Feel the warmth, the acceptance, the pure love that this light represents. As you bask in this golden glow of self-love, Bring to mind aspects of yourself that you've struggled to accept. Perhaps it's a physical feature you've been critical of, or a personality trait you've tried to change. As each of these aspects comes to mind, see them bathed in this golden light of unconditional love and acceptance. Say to each part of yourself, I love you. I accept you. You are a perfect part of my whole being. Feel the relief. The release as you extend this unconditional love to all parts of yourself. Practice this visualization regularly, my friends, for in doing so, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with this truth of unconditional self-love. You are creating a new default setting for your being, one of acceptance, of celebration, of love for all that you are. Now let us address another crucial aspect of self-love, the love and acceptance of your own desires and dreams. Many of you may have been taught that it's selfish to want things for yourself, that it's more virtuous to put others' needs before your own. But I tell you this, honoring your own desires is a vital part of self-love. Your desires, my dear friends, are not random. They are not frivolous. They are, in fact, divine inspiration. They are the universe, God, the divine consciousness, whatever name you choose to give it, speaking through you, guiding you towards your highest expression of self. When you ignore your desires, when you push them aside in the name of false humility or misguided selflessness, you are not being virtuous. You are, in fact, denying the divine expression that seeks to manifest through you. So I urge you, embrace your desires, love them, honor them. For in doing so, you are loving and honoring the divine within you. You are saying to the universe, yes, I am ready to be all that I can be. I am ready to express the fullness of my divine nature. Let me share with you a powerful exercise to help you embrace and love your desires. Take a piece of paper and at the top, write, in a world where anything is possible, I desire then. Let your imagination soar. Write down everything your heart yearns for, no matter how grand or seemingly impossible. As you write, pay attention to how you feel. Do you feel excitement, joy, or do you feel guilt or unworthiness? If negative feelings arise, this is an opportunity to practice self-love. Remind yourself, my desires are valid. They are divine inspiration. I am worthy of all that I desire. Now look at your list. Choose one desire that resonates strongly with you. Close your eyes and imagine it as if it were already fulfilled. See it, feel it, taste it, smell it. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. As you do this, pay attention to how you feel. This feeling of joy, of fulfillment, this is your true self. This is you aligned with your divine nature. Love this feeling, embrace it. For in loving your desires, in allowing yourself to feel the joy of their fulfillment even in your imagination, you are loving your true self. My dear friends, understand this. The universe responds not to your words, not to your actions, but to your state of being. When you love yourself fully, when you embrace your desires without guilt or reservation, you are in a state of alignment with the abundance of the universe. From this state, miracles flow naturally and effortlessly. Now let us delve into another crucial aspect of self-love, the love and acceptance of your own power. Many of you have been taught to play small, to doubt your own capabilities, to look outside yourself for validation and approval. But I tell you this, true self-love requires that you embrace your own power, your own divinity. Remember, you are not merely a physical being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You are, in essence, God made manifest. The power that created the universe resides within you. When you deny your power, when you doubt your capabilities, you are not being humble. You are, in fact, denying the very essence of your being. You are saying to the divine within you, I do not trust you. I do not believe in you. So I urge you, my dear friends, embrace your power. Love it. Honor it. For in doing so, you are loving and honoring the divine within you. You are saying to the universe, yes, I am ready to be the powerful divine being that I truly am. Let me share with you a powerful affirmation to help you embrace and love your mirror. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and declare with all the conviction of your soul, I am powerful beyond measure. The same power that created the universe flows through me. I am capable of creating miracles in my life. As you say these words, pay attention to how you feel. Do you feel a surge of energy, a sense of excitement? Or do you feel doubt, disbelief? If negative feelings arise, this is another opportunity to practice self-love. Remind yourself, these doubts are not my true self. They are old programming, old beliefs that no longer serve me. I choose to love and embrace my power. Practice this affirmation daily, my friends. For in doing so, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with this truth of your own divine power. You are creating a new default setting for your being, one of confidence, of capability, of alignment with your true powerful self. Now let us address a common obstacle on the path to self-love, the habit of comparison. Many of you may find yourselves constantly comparing your lives, your achievements, your appearances to those of others. This habit of comparison is a thief of joy, a barrier to true self-love. Remember this, my dear friends, your journey is unique. Your path is yours alone. The divine expresses itself through you in a way that is entirely unique and perfect for you. When you compare yourself to others, you are denying the perfection of your own divine expression. Instead of comparison, I urge you to practice appreciation. Appreciate the unique way in which the divine expresses itself through you. Appreciate your strengths, your quirks, your so-called flaws, for all of these are part of the magnificent, one-of-a-kind creation that you are. Let me share with you a powerful exercise to help you shift from comparison to appreciation. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. In the first column, write down all the things about yourself that you typically compare to others. It might be your appearance, your achievements, your relationships. Now, in the second column, next to each item, write an appreciation. For example, if you wrote my body in the first column, your appreciation might be, I appreciate my body for its strength and resilience. It carries me through each day, allowing me to experience the wonders of life. Do this for each item on your list. As you write these appreciations, feel the shift in your energy. Feel how much lighter, how much more loving you feel towards yourself when you focus on appreciation rather than comparison. Practice this exercise regularly, my friends. For in doing so, you are training your mind to default to appreciation rather than comparison. You are cultivating a deep, abiding love for all aspects of yourself. Now let us explore another vital aspect of self-love, the love and acceptance of your own emotions. Many of you may have been taught to suppress certain emotions, to judge them as good or bad. But I tell you this, all of your emotions are valid. They are all part of the human experience, part of the magnificent spectrum of your being. When you judge your emotions, when you try to push away the ones you deem negative, you are rejecting a part of yourself. You are saying to a part of your being, you are not welcome here. You are not worthy of love. True self-love requires that you embrace all of your emotions, the joy and the sorrow, the excitement and the fear, the love and the anger. All of these are part of your human experience. All are worthy of your love and acceptance. Let me share with you a powerful practice to help you love and accept all of your emotions. I call it the emotional welcome mat exercise. Imagine that you have a welcome mat at the doorway of your being. When an emotion arises, no matter what it is, imagine welcoming it in. Say to the emotion, welcome. I see you. I feel you. You are a valid part of my experience. Resist the urge to judge the emotion or try to change it. Simply allow it to be, to move through you. As you practice this, you may notice that emotions move through you more quickly when you don't resist them. You may find that even the most challenging emotions become easier to bear when you meet them with love and acceptance. This, my dear friends, is true emotional maturity. It is not the absence of so-called negative emotions, but the ability to embrace all emotions with love and equanimity. This is a profound form of self-love, one that will transform your entire experience of life. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to address one final crucial aspect of self-love, the love and acceptance of your own journey. Many of you may be impatient with yourselves, frustrated with what you perceive as slow progress or setbacks on your path of growth and self-improvement. But I tell you this, your journey with all its twists and turns, its peaks and valleys is perfect. It is exactly what you need for your soul's growth, for your evolution into the fullest expression of your divine self. When you judge your journey, when you berate yourself for perceived failures or lack of progress, you are denying the wisdom of the divine plan unfolding in your life. You are saying to the universe, I know better than you. Your plan is not good enough. Instead, I urge you to love your journey. Embrace every step of it, even the challenging ones. For it is often in the darkest times that we grow the most, that we discover strengths we never knew we had. Let me share with you a powerful visualization to help you love and accept your journey. Close your eyes and imagine your life journey as a beautiful winding river. See it flowing through various landscapes, sometimes through lush green valleys, sometimes through challenging rocky terrains. Now, see yourself as a boat on this river. Notice how you navigate both the calm waters and the rapids with equal grace. Feel the excitement of the journey, the growth that comes with each new bend in the river. As you visualize this, say to yourself, I love and accept every part of my journey. I trust in the perfect unfolding of my life. I am exactly where I need to be at this moment. Practice this visualization regularly, my friends, for in doing so, you are cultivating a deep love and acceptance for your entire life journey. You are aligning yourself with the divine plan unfolding in your life. In conclusion, my dear friends, remember this, loving yourself is not a destination. It is not something you achieve once and then are done with. It is an ongoing practice, a moment-by-moment choice. Choose in each moment to see yourself through the eyes of love. Choose to speak to yourself with kindness and compassion. Choose to honor your desires, to embrace your power, to accept your emotions, to love your journey. As you do this, you will find that your entire experience of life transforms. The world around you will seem to change, to become more loving, more abundant, more joyful. But remember, it is not the world that has changed, it is you. You have aligned yourself with the truth of your being, with the love that is your true nature. And from this place of self-love, of alignment with your divine nature, you become a beacon of light in the world. You radiate love effortlessly, touching all those around you with your presence. This, my friends, is your true purpose. This is why you are here, to remember your divine nature, to love yourself fully and completely, and in doing so, to uplift the entire world. Go forth, my dear ones, and love yourselves fiercely, unconditionally, unwaveringly, for in doing so, you are loving the divine itself. You are fulfilling your highest purpose. You are being who you truly are. And always remember, you are loved. You are loving. You are lovable. You are in your very essence, love itself. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention, for your openness, for your willingness to embrace this profound truth of self-love. May you go forth from here radiant with the light of your own love, blessing the world with your presence. For you are, each and every one of you, a miracle of creation, a unique and perfect expression of the divine. Love yourselves, my dear ones. Love yourself with all your heart, all your soul, all your being. For in doing so, you are loving God itself.